All right, beautiful. Can I get your name and age?
I'm Mickey Fox and I'm 45.
And what do you do?
I am unemployed. I just got released from prison, so I don't work.
All right. And why'd you pop your balloon?
Because he actually looks like a felon, and I'm good with that.
Social media star who scammed people out of thousands of dollars finds out her sentence after pleading guilty.
And once I used my concealer,
Nikki Lynn Fox promoted herself as a style and relationship expert on YouTube, but prosecutors say she can now add a new title to that, a professional scammer.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
So for those of you who've been watching my content for a while, you know that I haven't been huge on like these pop the balloon shows, but once in a while, they were episodes that you just couldn't resist. Now, part of the reason I may actually appreciate this more than the original Pop the Balloon show is that the people are a little bit older, you know, and I think at the place I'm at now in my life, I can appreciate an older audience. Shout out to Desi and Shani Rose. That's the name of the channel. Of course, you can go watch this video in its entirety on your own, but you're not going to believe this. So the main focal point of the discussion in this video is this woman right here, who introduces herself not once, but multiple times as a felon. Check it out.
All right, beautiful. Can I get your name and age?
my name is Mickey Fox and I am 45. I am recently released from prison. So I'm a felon. I'm fine and I am unemployed, honey.
Whatever that means.
Here she is again.
All right, let's go down to the next one.
Okay.
All right, beautiful. Can I get your name and age?
Mickey Fox, and I'm 45. I am recently released from prison, so I'm a felon, and I am unemployed, honey.
I'm sorry. I don't know if y'all can see the eye contact he just gave her. Like,
Obviously, like an obvious red flag. You know, I believe in people being reformed and changing their ways, but what would I tell somebody I cared about? I'll tell them to run fast, not slow. Like, you just got out of prison? No way. I mean, I was so curious about this. I said, is this a lie? Is she pretending? And then I found this video.
Just got released from prison.
Social media star who scammed people out of thousands of dollars finds out her sentence after pleading guilty.
And once I used my concealer,
Nikki Lynn Fox promoted herself as a style and relationship expert on YouTube, but prosecutors say she can now add a new title to that, a professional scammer. After first
What?
being indicted a year ago, Fox pled guilty and was sentenced today to 5 years in prison.
Relationship expert and what do they say? Fashion expert or something like that?
Fox promoted herself as a style and relationship expert on YouTube.
Right. Style and relationship expert.
Prosecutors say she conned at least 8 victims into making real estate investments with her.
now we didn't get in the story. This is our last gentleman, so I am curious. I'm sure they are as well. You said you just came out of prison.
I did.
How long have you been home?
I've been home since April of 2025.
Okay. And how has your journey been out?
It's hard, baby. It's hard. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm also a YouTuber, so I do have a channel here.
What's your
But
channel?
my channel is I am Mickey Fox, 2 Ks and 2 Is. But I was doing
Just
that
curious.
before I had a very public, very, very public fall from grace. And God was with me the whole time.
Amen.
As you can see, I did something felonious, but I am not a felon. I'm a forgiven felon. And God saved me while I was behind those walls. So I'm using my my struggle as a testimony because I had it all. I had everything, a 6-bedroom house. I had everything. And I lost it all, but I gained Christ when I was in prison. So that's my story.
Okay. Wonderful. Yeah, you know, like I always say, man, I will never discourage or downplay anybody because I hope people are being sincere, right? Because I believe a sincere heart that's been given to Christ is a real thing. I can't find her YouTube channel. I think this is such a learning opportunity. You know, you see all these people online, like how many people probably used to see her compare themselves, and you can only imagine the type of relationship advice that she used to give, right? Probably a little bit different now. Who knows? Maybe still the same. Who knows? But you can only imagine the type of relationship advice along those Shira 7 lines of use men for money, take them for all that they have. Shisha, do you know this for sure? No. but I can guess because she had no problem scamming people that was the case.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
That was the case. Let's talk about the sponsor of this channel, fathershaverights.com. Engaged and soon to be married men, hiring the wrong lawyer can leave you with an overpriced, unenforceable prenup. Avoid the trap. Inside my step-by-step guide at fathershaverights.com, renowned attorneys James Sexton and the lead attorney lay out the exact questions to ask, red flags to spot, and proven steps to hiring the perfect prenup lawyer. The guide itself costs only a couple of dinner dates, far less than a single billable hour. Hit the link pinned to the top of the comment section, lock in your guide, and join the hundreds of men securing their marriages the right way. Let's check out a few of these comments, see what the people have to say. Then we're going to go finish that video. Top comment, he says, that's Shira Seven's homegirl, is it? Nah. Wonder why she ain't welcome her home. No. Here I am thinking I'm making wild guesses. And the top comment here says, that's Shira Seven's homegirl. The queen of exactly what I assumed she was talking about. Here's somebody else who added to the conversation, says Shira left her alone a long time ago. Here's somebody else who says she separated herself from her after she got charged. Now, listen, it's one thing to have acquaintances and, talk to people who you may not align with values. I think it's another thing to call those people your closest friends. And what do we know? We know that birds of the same feather flock together. Now, they shouldn't be mistaken for somebody who maybe associates with someone on a friendly basis, but may vastly disagree with their lifestyle. Depending on how close they were, there's some stuff to learn here. Somebody else, she says, wishing Mickey the best. Here's another person who added, when they start throwing God in it, you know they wrong. Another person who's responded back and says, telltale sign. Here's somebody else who says she's a convicted felon. And that is true. The Bible does say that Jesus came to save sinners like myself. Now, when it comes to actually dating somebody, you still have to live with the consequences of the stigma that surrounds the decisions you've made in your past. I still would tell any man who's like, yeah, she's a felon, she's been in prison. I'd be like, probably not. Like, you don't want to marry. I'll tell any woman that. Yes, we're all still forgiven, but those consequences still exist. For example, I'll give you another example. There are men out here who have multiple baby mamas and women out here who have multiple baby daddies. And just because they may say, oh, I've changed my life, does not take away the fact that they have a lot of children outside of wedlock. Are you now obligated to take on and date them just because they have changed their life? No, which is why you want to be careful about the decisions you make in your life. Let's check out the main video.
We're going to go on down to the next one. All right, beautiful. Can I get your name and age?
I'm Mickey Fox, and I am 45.
And what do you do?
I am unemployed. I just got released from prison, so I don't work.
All right. And why'd you pop your balloon?
Because he actually looks like a felon, and I'm good with that.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up.
What is the look of a felon?
Okay, I will say this. I have teenage sons who understand etiquette, and they understand, like, we were told to dress like we're going to a fancy restaurant, and I just don't think he understands that world. And so it just kind of doesn't give me, like, we would never be able to go anywhere. We're definitely not personality matched, and I don't think that we are, like, mentally matched. So, I mean, he's a child of God. God love you, and God gives second chances like he did for me. But I just wouldn't.
Is she someone that's your type?
Yeah.
Thank you.
She cool.
Thank you.
All right, let's go on back down.
Now, listen, two things can be true at the same time. And I'm about to hurt some feelings here because people, again, they don't like the coffee.
Drink the
They
coffee,
don't like the
it'll make
coffee.
you feel better.
This woman, of course, is going to have a terrible time dating. She is 45 and has a lot of baggage, a lot of trauma. Obviously believes that she's probably still the prize when it comes to her value in the dating market, not her value in the world as a human being, not her value to God. No, in the dating market, she believes still a 10, still a prize. And listen, I'm taking an educated guess based on what I've seen so far. She's going to have a difficult time. However, she kind of has a point here. If you're a man today and you're thinking of getting a neck tattoo, right? A tattoo on your neck and face. Unfortunately, because I know a few people who have tattoos on their neck and face, they're not all criminals. Some of them are. Some of them are. But just because you have a neck tattoo doesn't mean that you are a criminal. However, branding does matter. How you present yourself does matter. And if you want to believe and argue that it doesn't matter, get the tattoo and have that battle with the world. Guys, I'm not somebody who believes tattoos are bad. I have a tattoo. I'm tatted on my arm, right? But there's a difference. There's a difference between the neck tattoos and the face tattoos. And no, it doesn't mean that you're won't be able to keep a business job and there won't be a place that won't hire you, but it sends a different message. This is exactly like the same video of the chick who had the neck tattoo, who was complaining about how she was mad that men had expectations for her neck, had expectations for her eyelashes, and men don't like a lot of weave. And she was upset that her nails were a problem and that her neck tattoos were a problem. She was mad about that. And the reality is there is a look that literally screams wife. You can look wifely. Now, what's happening internally and what are your actual actions? That's different. But there is a look. And yes, men, when looking for a wife, do pay attention to those things. But Shisha, there are women who have neck tattoos and are horrible people. I get it. That's not what I'm saying. Don't confuse what I'm not saying. I'm not saying having a neck tattoo makes you horrible. Obviously, here we have an ex-criminal who didn't have a neck tattoo. And even she knows that that opened certain doors for her and closed others. And the reason why I think this is such an interesting topic is that you see guys who be so passionate about like, yeah, we want women to do this. Yeah, no lashes. For me, as long as anything is not in excess, I'm typically okay with it. Lashes, makeup. I just don't, the BBL stuff, no. But, you know, for me, it's about like, to what degree are you going to wear the fake hair? Am I ever going to see your real hair? Luckily, my wife has locks, and so I don't have to worry about that. She's had locks. Since I've known her, I've never seen her wear anything else other than locks. I love her hair. She's beautiful. But, you know, you have the guys who have all these demands, but when it's switched on them, they start to cry. As always, we're going to check out some of these comments, who the people have to say. Top comment here says, I think that any individual who refuses to give his/her age should be kicked off the show immediately. Did someone refuse to give their age? Which one of these women refused to give their age? And those would be the people who tell you age doesn't matter. Next comment here says, OnlyFans girl in black was here for a moment. Somebody responded back and says, I agree. Here's somebody else who says, popping for distance. Another person here added, in all the Pop the Balloon shows I've ever watched, never saw someone with 12 children. A first for me. Damn. Who has 12 kids? Whoosh. I might need to react to this whole video. Yeah, I think I might do that. If you guys want to see me react to this entire video, check the second link pinned to the top of this video. Another person here added, she's a little too proud and happy with being a felon, and popping on someone she thinks looks like a felon is crazy, but she actually is the felon. Yeah. There is that delusion there. And trust me, guys, don't misunderstand me. I see the hints of delusion, and I'm sure if I watch the whole thing, then they might be more. I don't know. We'll see. Hey, guys, as always, I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of The Coffee Pod. To my currently engaged or soon-to-be married men, if you need a prenup and would like a guide that shows you how to get a solid and legally binding prenuptial agreement, hit the link pinned to the top of the comment section and access your guide at fathershaverights.com today.